the 103.5 FM today, the 4th day of December 2023, and today is Monday. The time is a minute past the hour of 7. It's time for newspaper headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. This morning, we are going to take you through the news making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning. But before we do that, let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines. Please stay with us.
Do you know that you have the right to quality broadcasting? The National Broadcasting Commission says any person, group of persons, or organization aggrieved by the content of a broadcast or the conduct of a broadcast station may lodge a complaint to the station and all right to the Director General, National Commission, number 20, Ibrahim Taiwo Street, Asokoro, Abuja, or send a mail via info@nbc.gov.ng. Please ensure that your complaint includes name of the broadcast station, title of the program, date and time of broadcast, and essence of the complaint. Also, remember to include your name, address, telephone number, email, and append your signature. Note that a complaint must reach the NBC within 14 days of the queried broadcast. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting.
You're welcome back to newspaper headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. This morning, we are going to take you through the news making the headlines on the Guardian newspaper, Leadership, Vanguard, Punch, Sun, Daily Post, The Nation, This Day, and if time permits, we're also going to take a look at Nigerian Tribune. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080-96661035. You can as well join us on Facebook as we are live at Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Drop your comment on the comment section of the live video. You can equally stream us online via mixlr.com/gistfm. I am Martin. Let's get started with the Guardian newspaper this morning. Sanwo-Olu, Emmanuel, Eno, orders to grace UEC's 136th yearly confab. Federal University Oyo Ekiti to award Adeola Bamidele honorary doctorate degrees. Lagos State Governor pledges to improve ease of doing business. Bishop Wale Oke reiterates zero tolerance to promiscuity. Violence at PCU. Only 6 more powers for traditional rulers, says Tinubu, not a magician, Messiah. University of Ibadan Alumni in Lagos branch holds 65th anniversary special recognition awards. APC wins all chairmanship councillorship seats in Ekiti council poll. NJC to select 11 new Supreme Court judges Wednesday. We are ready for oil, gas inventors. Federal government reassures. NCC tax investors as meters 45 kilometers NCC tax investors as Meta's 45,000 kilometers undersea cable comes to Nigeria. Why NCAA lifted suspension on UNA's leased airplane. FEM plans revenue summit to address debt crisis. Commonwealth, federal government open talks on deep sea mining. Group alleges plans to destabilize North. Kanu uncovers diversion of palliatives, vows to punish corporates. Intel's waived $193 million debt to resolve pilotage crisis, MPA affirms. How to stop infertility in Nigeria by experts. Kefas rolls out new minimum wage. Others in Taraba. Terrorists kill 11 in Plateau attack. Teachers hold SUBEB boss hostage. Disrupt aptitude test in Duse. Niger ex-governor blames insecurity on poor planning, corruption. Campaign against DSS DG can reshuffle. Secret Services Group wants. Campaign against DSS DG can ruffle. Secret Services Group wants. Over 74,000 candidates registered for 2023 NICO SSCE. New FREM platform delivers 98% accuracy for malaria screening. Intel's Atiku dismisses reports as mischief. We need transparency, accountability to drive growth, says Nasima. Reject Wike's 15 billion naira befitting residence for vice president. Socioeconomic rights accountability project urges Senate. ROFWOL advocates support for cancer patients. Abia road expansion, more structures for demolition, says OT. Sematech. NSE tackle groups misinformation on Calabar E2 road construction. Federal government vows to make tertiary institutions globally competitive for economic development. Igbo captains of industry embrace Mba's economic plans. Radio, TV presenters rename NARTPON to NAEMPON. Obaseki's infighting with PDP leaders. Others undermined Edo development, says Afebua. International Council urges Supreme Court to free Kanu on December 15th. We have initiated investigation into disappearance of 4 children in Abia, says police. The IWC in diaspora forged common ground for a Kale nation. $30 billion GDP. Igbo captains of industry embrace Mba's economic growth. Cabinet office under probe as Kanu uncovers palliative scandal. Sugar firm donates classrooms to host community in Niger. FIRS cancels penalties, interest on pending tax liabilities. Project Enable Africa. 6. Unified efforts to implementation of Persons with Disability Act. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency seizes hard drugs sewed into jeans, trousers, and others stuffed in dolls. 200 lawyers volunteered to assist Governor Yusuf win Guba case at Supreme Court. 200 lawyers volunteered to assist Governor Yusuf win Guba case at Supreme Court. 5 killed, 11 injured in road traffic crash in Akwa Ibom. FRLC. Police declare 4 kids missing in Abia. Medication hike. FCT residents restored to Abu. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency recovers 8 tons of India hemp, 8,000 bottles of codeine in 8 states. 10 INEC directors retire from service. US applauds Nigeria's efforts at bolstering economy for sustainable growth. Well, wheat farmers in Kaduna State commend the federal government's 50% subsidy on inputs. Police arrest Governor Yusuf's aide. 1 order for allegedly diverting palliatives. COP28. NMDPRA S-raise Nigeria's decarbonization journey targets $575 billion investment opportunities. Kanu government uncovers warehouse for diversion of palliatives. NG cares. Federal government disburses 135.4 billion naira to states. FCT. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency arrests 90 suspects, dismantles 13 illicit drug joints in Kaduna. Climate change. Tinubu unveils bold vision for greener Nigeria at COP28. We will transform Edo into Nigeria's entertainment creative hub, Obaseki. Bank. FGN. Partner to train youths on digital skills. Refiners demand proper investment as NMDPRA seeks $575 billion decarbonization fund. 2024 budget in tune with yearnings of Nigerians. Senate institution urges youths to pursue career in mechanical engineering. United Nations appoints Nigerian as resident coordinator in Turkey. Why NCAA lifted suspension on United Nigeria's list airplane, Oborowore, to unveil Africa's tallest Christmas tree in Delta. Oborowore to unveil Africa's tallest Christmas tree in Delta. German Film School, Film Academia, Baden, holds 4-week collaborative endeavor in Benin. Court summons NATCOMDG over alleged 2 billion naira judgment debt. That's the much we can take from the Guardian newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning, from the Guardian newspaper, we flip over to Leadership newspaper. Starring One Foundation partners others on gender-based violence. NEITI, MBS agree on data sharing, data integrity. NCC to back Meta on undersea cable initiative. Troops arrest 3 soldiers for theft of ammunition in Meduguri. Fagbemi celebrates Justice Amina Uji's outstanding service. Nigeria will rise again, says Anglican primate. Put helicopter crash behind you, air chief tells survivors. COP28, Obi asks federal government to compete with China on production, not delegate size. Electoral, local government, judiciary reforms are our priorities, Abbas. Electoral, local government, judiciary reforms are priorities, Abbas. 400 billion naira state pension backlog threatens workers' retirement plan. UBA wins Bank of the Year Africa 2023. I have sold my shares in Intel's long ago. Article. 13-year-old girl abducted on her way home from school in Lagos. 4 Abia school children missing after mom entrusted them to unknown keke rider. 4 Abia school children missing after mom entrusts them to unknown keke rider. 15 doctor died within 6 months. Lagos Medical Guild. 3 Nigerian startups receive $37,000 seed fund from JICA for entrepreneurial ventures. Butch Burning responsible for fire at FRCN Kaduna Fire Service. I lost both my parents to fire incident while growing up. Toke Makinwa. MPFL Kanu Pillars. Yusuf nets 5 goals, secures win against Gombe United. COP28 provide breakdown of expenses for Nigerian delegates. PDP tells Tinubu. Jaba, U.S. Embassy interviews over 150,000 Nigerians for visa in 2023. NCC pledges support for Meta's 2 Africa cable project in Nigeria. Boko Haram leaders wanted to make Niger their headquarters, ex-Governor Aliyu. Bandits kill 7, abduct many in Sokoto. Fire resists Sokoto Network Center of NTA. Boko Haram leaders wanted to make Niger. We've taken this. Still on the stories making the headlines on the leadership newspaper this morning. Davido partners Ibom Air on Abuja Timeless concert. 5 die, 11 injured in Akwa Ibom auto crash. Kanu to host National Council on Environment. COP28 sign climate change liability agreements with Africa. Nigerian lawmaker tells developed countries. Nigeria will rise again, says Anglican primate. $30 billion GDP. Igbo captains of industry embrace Mba's economic growth plans. Conduct local government area elections within 6 months or face legal action. ADC tells Ozadema. Fernandez double. Help 10-man Chelsea beat Britain 3-2. Late Liverpool goals complete dramatic 4-3 comeback win. FEM empowers 10,000 female farmers in North. Electric vehicles can rejuvenate Nigeria's economy, says e-mobility experts. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency foils a drug syndicate's attempt to exploit illicit substance. 13 police officers arrested for indecent dressing in Rivers. Tinubu meets United Arab Emirates president to strengthen bilateral ties. NAF boss visits injured crew members of ill-fated Mi-35P helicopter in Rivers. DSS denies allegations of diverting 35,000 naira subsidy grant for personnel. Jemriye out with new sensational visual. Nigeria Air Force helicopter crash set up for comeback. Improved safety. CAS tells personnel. Delta police arrest notorious church musical instrument thieves. Diri's 2024 budget lacks vision. Director to develop Bayelsa. Diri's 2024 budget lacks vision. Direction to develop Bayelsa Group. Kanu State senior official arrested for alleged palliative diversion. APC clears Ekiti local government poll. Former WMA president calls for unity in medical profession. Delta Governor Oborowori to unveil Africa's tallest Christmas tree in Delta. Skin cancer cases increases among albinos in Kaduna. Buni to swear in 17 local government chairmen December 4th. That's the much we can take from the leadership newspaper this morning. And from the leadership newspaper, we'll flip over to Vanguard newspaper. SGF to Nigerians, keep faith. There's hope for Nigeria. ICYMI, Benin people owned Lagos. Awori paid royalties to them. Erule Abiola. Alleged killers of Imo DPO, inspector arrested. I won't benefit from federal government's reinstatement of Intel's contract article. Tinubu's security economy emphasis. Tinubu's security and economy emphasis. SGF, we've taken this. Federal government to commence disbursement of presidential grants, loans to businesses. Nigeria's economy begins major shift as oil sector rebounds. We will tell the Chief Justice. Firing National Association of Nigerian Students from the barrel of the gun. Alleged urbanization agenda. Why Tinubu can't neglect the North. Shagare's grandson. Appeal court affirms Otis election as Abia governor. PDP calls for calm. 7 climate issues and announcements at COP28 summit in Dubai. Female candidates dominate as Ekiti holds local government polls. Ondo, Tinubu asked Ayedatiwa to sign undated resignation letter, Commissioner. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. The hype men lawmakers. Why democracy has failed us, Nigerians tell OBJ. Nigeria's economy begins major shift as oil sector rebounds. That's the much we can take from the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And from the Vanguard newspaper, we'll flip over to the Punch newspaper. COVID-19 funds, hospitals, accounting officers, risk jail, dismissal, says reps. Federal government didn't sponsor 1,411 delegates to COP28 presidency. Bridge social inequality gap. Ekiti elders urge Tinubu. Lagos to reduce methane emission by 45% 2035. Edo APC won't zone governorship ticket, says secretary. 15 billion naira allocation for vice president's residence wasteful. Socio-economic rights and accountability project. 10 INEC directors retire from service. Police arrest killers of Imo GPO. 3 soldiers arrested for stealing 374 ammunition rounds. Why I dislodged Boko Haram founder. Check out. Others. Ex-Niger governor. How I dislodge Boko Haram founder. Check out. Others. Ex-Niger governor. Contractor hands over second Niger bridge. Resettle Taraba's IDPs. Thief council urges governor. Doctors fault 5% budgetary allocation for health. LASMA. KAI. To tackle street trading at Yeltide. Council promises security for new passport office. Reps want FMC war upgraded to teaching hospital. With farmers, APC chieftain, Lord, federal government subsidized inputs. Emmanuel's wife preaches trust in God. MFM urges Nigerians to embrace gratitude. Probe people with suspicious wealth. Police PRO tells cops. Sanwo-Olu promises Ogun Community Classrooms block. National Association of Nigerian Students demands 200,000 naira annual bursary for students. Over 150,000 Nigerians applied for US visa in 2023. Envoy. APC clears 38 Ekiti Council seats. PDP first poll. Justice Uji, an asset to legal community, says AGF. 11 hikers found dead after Indonesia volcano eruption. Kanu governor's aide arrested for alleged palliative looting. Use political power to lift citizens. Makinde. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency dismantles 13 Kaduna drug joints, arrest 90. 200 lawyers volunteer to appear for Kanu governor at Supreme Court. Delta targets 12 billion naira monthly. IGR moves against tax evaders. INEC directors retire. Asks commission to tap from ex-workers' experience. That's the much we can take from the Punch newspaper this morning. And from the Punch newspaper, we'll flip over to the Sun newspaper. 11 new Supreme Court justices emerged this week. COPA 28. Tinubu under fire for traveling with 1,114 contingent. Federal government takes delivery of second Niger bridge from Julius Berger. Be patriotic, offer solutions to Nigeria's challenges. Abiodun urges spiritual leaders. 200 lawyers volunteer to assist Go Yusuf win case at Supreme Court. ABUAD College of Science shines at Tech Explore Convention. Customs officer becomes first Nigerian woman to ride bike to 13 African countries. Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps official brutalized Anambra-based journalist. Rest your hopes in God in this trying time. Former Akwa Ibom First Lady urges Nigerians. School girl, 13, abducted in Lagos as police step up manhunt for kidnappers. 2024 budget, federal government to spend 6.5 trillion naira on personnel costs. COP28, 1,411 delegates to Dubai, not sponsored by federal government. Presidency, drug war. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency on rampage uncovers meth, opioids, consignment in jeans, hems, dolls, buttons. Relief for tax debtors as FIRS waives penalties, interest. Relief for tax debtors as FIRS waives penalties, interest. Conduct local government election or face legal action, ADC tells Uzodinma. National Association of Nigerian Students demands 200,000 naira bursary allowance from Tinubu. COP28, climate change induced humanitarian crisis must be tackled with durable solutions. Better Edu. The Delboro Lagos experience, unbelievable. International experience, Emir of Kano. Intel Mobile unveiled as the official partner, Best Brain Contest, Anambra Quiz 2023. Observers tell INEC to introduce mobile phone voting, diaspora participation. Federal government to reform, restore NTA, FRCN's past glories. Minister, United Nigerian Airlines apologizes to passengers for flight disruptions. Notorious kidnapper in Kebbi, Dogo Oro, neutralized by vigilantes in Bunza. Deputy Senate President Jibrin finds a solution to Nigeria's security challenges. Federal government goes tough on airing companies over safety standards. The Delbo grand opening, Obasanjo, Jonathan, Sanwo-Olu, others hail Uzochukwu over luxury brand launch. Demolition of properties in Lagos raises worries about property stability, investment. Emmanuel, Jonah, Jeff worldwide journeying to biggest automotive business in Nigeria. Esu Nupe, Charles Odi, Elvis Abuyere, Jumia Ahamadu. Others set for African Fashion and Arts Award, FAFAA. COP28, Islamic Development Bank to assist Nigeria improve humanitarian intervention and reduce poverty index to scale up social protection. Honorable Musan bags chieftaincy title of Akeweje in Uwukuta Kingdom. Commissioner makes case for UNN Vice Chancellor of Imo State Extraction. That's the much we can take from the Sun newspaper this morning. You are listening to newspaper headlines on Airborne at the 103.5 FM. We'll now go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines. Please stay with us.
Love Bite Foods and Beverages Limited Nnobi abịagokwa n'ọzọ. Nke agba bụ iji wee kene ndị niile na-azụ anyị afịa na imekwa ka steeti anyị dị ọcha. Ngwa chịkọta akwụkwọ nkechi achịcha ya bụ nylon wrappers nke ji wee kechie Love Bite bread mkpụrụ 50 pieces only. Ka anyị were ego dị puku naira 10,000 naira wee machie gị akpa. Ngwangwa ị na-achịta ya ngwangwa na-amachi gị akpa aka ọkụ. Ọ na-atọ chijere distributor ọbụla nọ gị nso maọbụ bịa n'onwe gị n'isi ụlọ ọrụ ndị Love Bite Foods and Beverages Limited nke dị n'Imuru Village Nnobi. Ihe nrite nwa ga-amalite ụbọchị Fraịde abalị mbụ n'ọnwa Disemba afọ 2023 wee kwụsịkwa ụbọchị Satọde n'abalị 23 n'ọnwa Disemba. Chai, ka ị na-achịta ka ị na-erite. Love Bite Bread, rie ihe dị mma ma bụrụ onye dị mma.
A lot of people complain about not using their talents the way they want to. Utilize this opportunity today. Are you an aspiring actor, musician, dancer? Here is the opportunity you have been waiting for. Register with Babula Production at Ebona at 103.5 FM today to make your God-given gift money-making venture using your God-given gift today. For more information, call 08039167049. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Nabakuwa Production. Police for vigilante. My business is mine now. When I will tell you SJ radio drama, there we go. HJ radio drama, Eriko, Ghana Dialogue every Monday, 8 o'clock p.m. with a repeat broadcast on Saturday, 3 o'clock p.m. Now, Ebona 103.5 FM. If you move and finish your business,
Amara mi le wa di la mo. Ko na ka lo na ra ko na ni ko na ye. Nke ka ku ke wona na ma wo ku na ye ma wo le si.
That's what I call Man is a political animal. That's why we all have our views on politics. Political View comes to you at Ebona 103.5 FM with Martin Ifeanyi every Monday, 3 o'clock p.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. It's all about the day-to-day activities in the Nigerian political space. Views of political actors from various political parties on political process. Views of labor leaders, and most importantly, your views. Views of the common Nigerian. Tune in to Ebona 103.5 FM or you join online via mixlr.com/gistfm every Monday and Saturday. What are your political views? Keep a date.
You're welcome back to newspaper headlines on Ebona the 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080 96661035. You can as well join us on Facebook as well live at Ebona the 103.5 FM. Drop your comment on the comment section of the live video. You can equally stream us online via mixlr.com/GIFTFM. We are on to the Nation newspaper this morning. On the Nation newspaper this morning, Senate, House ready to pass budget 2024 before December 31st. Banks screen manufacturers for 75 billion naira palliatives loan. FIRS waives penalties, interest on outstanding tax liabilities. US investors excited about Tinubu's economic agenda, says envoy. 10 INEC directors retire from service. Interim management committees resume in 18 Ondo councils. UBA is the Bankers African Bank of the Year. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency stops export of drugs hidden in clothes, dolls. APC clears all seats in Ekiti Council poll. Ogun shuts 3 factories over environmental infractions. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Nation newspaper this morning. Budget funding. Government eyes a 338% rise in dividends. Federal government unveils debt servicing, financing plans for 2024. FEM secures 19.41 billion naira to build 10,000 MT LPG storage facility jetty. Israel widens evacuation orders in southern Gaza after heavy attack. Federal government takes delivery of second Niger bridge. Commonwealth, federal government opens talks on deep sea mining. Interior Minister, NISCG, order probe into passport racketeering in Southeast. CAS, orders approve into helicopter crash at Port Harcourt. Obafemi Awolowo University Staff Club to honor Adebayo Williams. COP28. Federal government didn't sponsor 1,411 delegates to Dubai, says Tinubu. That's the much we can take from the Nation newspaper this morning. And from the Nation newspaper this morning, we flip over to Daily Post newspaper. Oyo residents groan as road crashes claim 18 lives in 1 week. Fuel subsidy. Federal government to commence disbursement of 125 billion naira grants to SMEs and manufacturers. 2024 budget. No fire brigade approach. Senate. Darkness to hit parts of Abuja over TCN maintenance. EPL referee would be disappointed if he played for Man City against Tottenham. Guardiola. Etsu Nupe urges government to prioritize commercial education. How I dislodged Chekau Boko Haram from Niger State. Ex-Governor Babangida Aliyu. Tinubu won't tolerate killer headers. Sunday Igboho replies, "May it Allah." Tinubu won't tolerate killer headers. Sunday Igboho replies, "May it Allah." Governor Unuwa Yahaya to present Gombe's 2024 budget December 4th. Full list of directors, deputies, others redeployed to new ministries, agencies. Hospitality business drying up amid harsh economic realities. Allegations against DSS DG capable of causing disaffection among the secret services civil group. That's the much we can take from Daily Post newspaper. From the Daily Post newspaper, we'll flip over to this day newspaper. Kiari. rewarding performance in NMPC, oil sector. Naira depreciation by 80.81% YOY amid CBN FX unification. Naira depreciates by 80.81% YOY amid CBN FX unification. COP28. Developed countries responsible for most greenhouse emissions, says Nigeria. Quarter 3 GDP report. Economists raises concerns, pushes for realism in reporting. PDP criticizes federal government over 1,411 delegations to COP28. Obi urges production, not waste. Extra wins. Access Bank delights customers with X Max promo. UBA wins Bank of the Year Africa 2023. Socio-Economic Rights Accountability Project to Ababio rejects Wike's plan to spend 15 billion naira on Vice President's residence. Minister of Interior unveils a refurbished e-arriving wing at Lagos Airport. Factional PTD. Osesua remains authentic national share. Fashola, Nigeria, living on infrastructure built in 70s, requires $2.3 trillion till 2043. Stanbic IBTC pension reiterates commitment to quality services for customers. Customs hand over 15,000 kg of seized illicit substance to National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Abdullahi, federal government working to reverse food crisis. Haps on improved seats. AGF 6 legal framework for public finance reforms. Treasury. That's the much we can take from this day newspaper. From this day newspaper, we'll flip over to Nigerian Tribune. IBOM developers provides healthcare support to 1,200 residents in Eastern Obulu, Ikoto Abasi local government areas. Police arrest church burglars, recover musical instruments in Delta. Rivers Police Command arrest 13 officers for indecent dressing. DSS debunks allegations of looting staff funds. United Arab Emirates set to provide humanitarian response stations across Nigeria. Bauchi First Lady restates commitment to better life for people with disabilities. Be security conscious, make government charges journalists. New National Association of Nigerian Students Leadership charged on effective, purposeful for progress. Education key to attaining rapid development. Esu Nupe. That's the much we can take from the Nigerian Tribune this morning. That will also mark the conclusion of all that we have for you on this particular edition of Newspaper Headlines on Ebonade 103.5 FM. We'll now flip over to our WhatsApp portal to bring you reactions this morning. And from our WhatsApp portal this morning, we have this message that says, this one is coming. Okay, this one says, okay, this one is coming from Comrade Manly Oduogo from Odumobosi, and he says, more strength to your able alongside your indefatigable 103.5 FM media team, Oduogo from Odumobosi. And he continued and says, on a candid note, whether our form of government is federal, confederal, or unitary is not the issue. Let us not be bogged down by an egocentric defense of wars. Wars are mere vehicle at best inadequate for conveying sense action, is what conscientize sense words merely elaborate vision. In the Nigerian situation, the beginning of wisdom is the establishment of peace within the confines of our sovereign boundaries. At this junction, let me draw the attention to our leaders at all levels to the glaring fact that what our long-suffering masses need is good food. It is not It is good food and not fine words that keeps us alive. For God's sake, we have had a Soviet of fine words. Comrade Manly Uduago from Udumobo, say thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this one. This one is coming from Ajab from Odume, and it says, which of Lagos government preaches to increase system of business? Let them stop deceiving themselves. Who destroyed Igbo shops, houses on Anglican primate that said Nigeria will rise again? Which one is he talking about? Without offering seed of faith and tithe, can he be there as a primate? Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message, and this one is coming from famous Christian, and he's joining us from Ifite village, Aguluzibu, and he says, I pray and wish for unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu come December 15th. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have this message. This one is coming from Christian Ofondo from Onitsha, and he says 4 boys that went missing after entrusting them to an unknown keke driver was a very big mistake made by some lazy parents, because the parents involved should know that whatever happened to the said boys was from their hands due to their inability to take care of their children. They should have taken their children to their school or schools before any other thing, before they were overtaken by the pursuit of material things and thereby lost their natural gifts. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Christian Ufondo from Onitsha. Now we have this one is coming from the boss from Okozo, and it says, good news as people meet with OBJ for democracy's sake. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have a message. This one is coming from Valentine Edene from Mumbo, and it says, why most of the houses being destroyed in Lagos belong to Igbos? Does it mean it is illegal structures or indirectly pursuing Igbos out of Lagos? Valentine Edene from Mumbo, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have a message. This one is coming from Chike Obata from Obinetiti Okosu, and it says, please, to whom it may concern, let Mazi Nnamdi Kanu be released as I heard in this news. Parents should make sure they know whom drive their children to school, being keke or okada. May Almighty God save and protect those children. Yes, local government election is important in all states. P2B spoke nothing but the truth. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It's coming from Akedia Moke, Onyanabana Omonachi, and he says, 4 school children missing from Kekeman is a very sad news. Please, parents, mind the persons that you hand over your children for school runs. Akedia Moke, Onyanabana Omonachi, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have this message is coming from Comrade Ibudu from Abagana, and he says, Kanu official arrested for palliative diversion. This is how Nigerians behave. They feel it is good to hold whatever comes across when they are at the top. Thereafter, all the blames will be on the government. But I want to make it known to everybody that this kind of act wouldn't take us anywhere. Let us deviate from such acts. Seriously, Nigeria doesn't take good care of their students. We are told that after industrial training, we will be paid a little token, but nothing of such happened. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Comrade Ibudu from Abagana. We have a message coming from Pauline Wizu Onisha, and he says, wicked to use huge amount of money to build vice president's residence in Abuja is a part of diverting our resources unnecessarily. And he says, because VP's residence is not a placing need for us now, we must be careful in spending money this time around. Okay, Pauline Wizu from Onitsha, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. This one is coming from Obiora from Okozo, and it says, Nigeria will rise again, says Anglican Bishop. What have you done to restore hope? All the bishops in Nigeria are silenced over the corruption that are happening until when God and his angels will come out and speak and fight for you. We shall know the truth, and the truth shall set us free. He continued and says, Delta governor to host highest Christmas tree. I believe he will first climb the tree to show his people how to pluck their daily food. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. But the case you made about Bishop, it is not all the bishop, all of them, some are speaking up. Now we have a message. This one is coming from Esther from Iftedunu, and it says, I pray for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Please, parents should be careful with all of these keke riders. Before you give out your child to keke rider, make sure you know him very well. May God protect those children. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Let's see if we can get you more reactions from our SMS portal this morning. as we wait for network on our SMS portal, let's flip over to our Facebook portal to bring you reactions this morning. And on our Facebook portal this morning, we have a message coming from Ogugwa Kenneth Okuchuku from Umuoba Nam in Umuoba Ilishi Kingdom. And he says, federal government should cushion the effect of hungry, unemployment, insecurity in Nigeria and work to reduce the increase of goods in our country. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And we have this message coming from Toma Praise. He says, okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. He says, good morning, Sir Martin Fine. Thank you. We have a message coming from Is Christian, famous Christian, and he's joining us from Ifite village in Aguluzibo. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a message from Dr. Mrs. Mma Olebara from Owerri, and she says on COP28, what a wasteful generation that is uncontrollably squandering all the resources and opportunities God bless us with at this assaultory time. We are borrowing to fund the budget. This government is not spending as a country that is ready to cut down high cost of governance. Why all these frivolous spendings? Why taking this number of people? Majority of Nigerians are disgusted and disappointed with all the flamboyant spending. So worrisome and unfortunate. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Dr. Mrs. Mma Olebara. On our WhatsApp portal this morning, we have a message coming from Ndubishoka from Umweze Umunachi, and it says, President Tinubu traveled with 1,100 people. I imagine in the world where President travels with such number of people, Nigeria economy is in coma. People are suffering, unemployment and insecurity everywhere, and the political class enjoy themselves with money meant for masses. President Tinubu should, as a matter of urgency, cut the cost of his governance. More so, Sunday, Igboho said that President Tinubu should not tolerate the herdsmen killing in his mere statement. What has this government done to combat crimes and insecurity? Okay, it's coming from Ndubiso Kapo from Umweze Umunachi. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And with that message from Ndubisio Kapo, this is the spot where we'll begin to call it a day on this particular edition of Newspaper Headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Remember, it comes your way weekdays in the morning once it's 7 o'clock. So keep a date and don't touch the dial of Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Once it's 8:20, we'll be back with Birthday Splash. Until we meet again, I am Martin. Have a fabulous morning.
Nabapoa production. Police for vigilante. My business. When I will tell you, SJ radio drama, Erico. AJ radio drama, Erico, gonna dialogue every Monday, 8 o'clock p.m. with a repeat broadcast on Saturday, 3 o'clock p.m. Now, F1 103.5 FM.
Yeah, but then give also if you move by finish your business, yeah.
Amara m ire nwa adịghị amụ ụbọchị m na-aga n'obodo m na-anụ akọ na ya na-ebikọ n'anya nke ka tupu nke mụ na ana m ahụzikwu n'anya ma ọ bụrụ eziokwu
Ekwekwala ka akọlụ gị nke a akọlụ. A lot of people complain about not using their talents the way they want to. Utilize this opportunity today. Are you an aspiring actor, musician, dancer? Here is the opportunity you have been waiting for. Register with Babula Production at Ebona the 103.5 FM today to make your God-given gift money-making venture using your God-given gift today. For more information, call 08039167049. Don't miss out on this opportunity.
Man is a political animal. That's why we all have our views on politics. Political View comes to you at Ebona, the 103.5 FM with Martin Ifeanyi every Monday, 3 o'clock p.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. It's all about the day-to-day activities in the Nigerian political space. Views of political actors from various political parties on political process. Views of labor leaders, and most importantly, your views. Views of the common Nigerian. Tune in to Ebona 103.5 FM or you join online via mixlr.com/gistfm every Monday and Saturday. What are your political views? Keep a date.
How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets, our community, our society?